YouTube. Welcome to King Sense. I am Mr. King Sense, and on this channel, fragrances are not just another hobby, but they're a lifestyle. Our goals over here are to be your best, look your best, and smell your best. Now, if that's something that has your attention, show your support by hitting that like button, leaving a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Come and be a part of the family. We would love to have you. I hope everybody had a blessed week, a blessed weekend, and I wish you many more. Now, let's get on to the feature presentation. So today, guys, we're talking about a very slept on, but yet still iconic and legendary fragrance from the house of Thierry Mugler, and we're talking about Amen. All right, Thierry Mugler, Amen, and there it is. All right, guys, you got a little star on the front here, and it's protected by this rubber flask-like bottle. Okay, it is removable. Guys, I think you might have to just pull it up like so. The sprayers, we'll get to that later. The sprayers are not my favorite, but a lot of people have cut the top of the flask off so they can get a better juice distribution. Okay, but me, I just make it work. This is not a new acquisition of mine. I've had this in the collection for several years now, guys. I don't know, man, maybe 7+. So, you know, look at the dent in there. It's not a lot missing, but you got to remember, guys, I have a collection that's been growing since, you know, I was a teen, man. So, but anyway, guys, let's talk about this fragrance. But before we do, I want to pay my respect to Mr. Thierry Mugler. We lost him this year, guys, January of 2022, guys. He did pass on, but he left behind a legacy for sure. He left behind some iconic fragrances, some legendary fragrances, as well as some designs, and just a little bit of information about Mr. Thierry Mugler. At the beginning of his career, he designed signature looks for Michael Jackson, Madonna, Grace Jones, David Bowie, and Diana Ross. Okay, definitely was legendary in the fashion world, guys. And if you have this in your collection, then you'll probably agree with me when I say that he was also legendary in the fragrance community. All right. So now that we have some background information about Mr. Thierry Mugler, let's go ahead and get into the juice. But before we do that, I want to give you an official note breakdown, guys. So at the top, we have lavender, mint, fruity and spicy notes. We have coriander, green notes, and bergamot. Now at the heart, we have caramel, patchouli, honey, milk, cedar, jasmine, lily of the valley. All right. Now at the base, we have coffee, we have patchouli again, we have vanilla, we have tonka bean, we have benzoin, we have amber, we got sandalwood, and we have musk. So guys, as you can see, this fragrance is loaded. It's loaded, guys. So what this should tell you is there's definitely some complexity going on in this fragrance, guys. It's definitely a complex composition, guys. All right, so now that we have the official note breakdown, let's go ahead and get into the juice. All right, so here's that bottle once again. All right, guys, now watch the sprayer. If you don't have this bottle, watch the sprayer, okay? It's not a wide or far out shot juice distribution, guys, but honestly, it's just enough for this DNA, guys, for this particular concentration. This is eau de toilette, by the way, guys, but what I will say is this thing is, when it comes to performance, we'll talk about that later, guys. We'll talk about the performance later. But it is Very strong, very potent, guys. So I'm going to say this. The patchouli is very prominent. It's a very patchouli heavy fragrance in my opinion, but it does tend to settle down when you get towards the dry down, guys. So, but in the forefront, it's patchouli heavy, okay? But, so right up under that, guys, you got that sweet, buttery, sugary caramel accord, okay? And then you definitely get some sweet, sticky honey. Guys, you got some vanilla, so it has just a touch of powderiness to it. Guys, spices and fruits. You know, the spices could be cinnamon. Some nutmeg might be in there. You know, fruits. Guys, I don't really pick up a lot on the fruits right now, but there might be like some type of dried fruit, or, you know, like a date or prune. There's definitely something there, but I can't really detect exactly what type of fruit it is, but it definitely would be a dry fruit, in my humble opinion, guys. Maybe even an apricot, okay? But definitely pick up on some woods. So it does, even though it's sweet and sticky and syrupy, it still plays its position well, guys. It still balances this fragrance out, and I believe that's what makes this a masculine fragrance, guys, is because the added woods. And then I can pick up on that coffee accord, guys. So it's a creamy, milky, seductive, elegant, masculine, sexy, and it just has some complexity to it, guys. It's a lot going on in this fragrance, guys, but also it tends to be in the gourmand side of things, guys. So this fragrance is going to remind you of some type of treat or dessert. So you may come off quite yummy to the ladies. You understand what I'm saying? So guys, but again, the woods is there and it's playing its position well, because this fragrance is balanced out to me, guys. So it's as good as it is sweet, it is also woody, and it has that depth and that bold background to it to take away some of that sweetness. So it really balances out, especially with the spices as well, guys. So it's not a super fruity and candy-like fragrance. It's just sweet, dark, and seductive. All right, guys. So very, very sexy, elegant fragrance right here, man. I'm trying to tell you. So let's go ahead and talk about the performance. So for me, the performance on this one, I tend to get between 7 and 8 hours on my skin. And then on clothes, we're talking 14 plus on into the next day. Guys, so I usually go between 3 and 4 sprays on this one. Usually 3, because it's a possibility that you could choke your own self out, let alone choke everybody else. And you don't want to be known as that individual. That's not good to be known as that. So guys, you gotta understand your fragrances. All right, you gotta test them, and you also have to respect them. All right, and you gotta respect everybody else around you. All right, it's one thing to smell good, but it's another thing to make people nauseous or come off as a person who wears harsh cologne and perfume. All right, so guys, you definitely have to dial down the sprays on this one. I'm telling you, this is beast mode for me and my batch. This is beast mode. Absolutely, guys. So respect the beast. Yes, sir. Respect it. Where can this be worn to? So I see this being best worn on those dark, cool winter nights, fall nights as well. You might be going out on a date. You might be getting ready to meet some friends, some co-workers, what have you, at some type of function. Guys, I see this being dressed up, suited and booted. So there's definitely some versatility going on here. This is just, like I said, it's a legendary fragrance, guys. Job well done. And it is a compliment machine. This is something that will garner you a lot of positive attention, in my humble opinion, guys. All right. So if I had to rate this fragrance, guys, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. If this composition, all right, if the note list sounded like something that you want to dive into, I urge you to do it sooner than later. If your pocketbook, if your wallet allows you to, being that this is supposed to be discontinued. I don't know for sure if it is, but I will list it in the description if I'm able to find it for you. All right. So you don't want to miss out, and then you have to end up paying crazy prices to get your hands on it. Guys, this is rumored to be his best fragrance right here, guys. Along with Pure Havane, which is discontinued. All right. I don't know why these houses discontinue a lot of the great fragrance, a lot of their greatest fragrances, or a lot of their greatest work. But it is what it is. We just have to enjoy it while it lasts, guys. But again, guys, I give it an 8 out of 10. If you have this fragrance, talk to us. Let us know what's your thoughts and opinions on this one. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? So on and so forth, guys. What are some other fragrances from the house that are not discontinued, guys, that we should dive into? All right, because I believe this might be the only one from the house that I have. There is a couple that I have seen in the past, in the recent past. So there are a couple that are still available. But so what are your recommendations for the ones that are still available? Drop them down below, guys. And on to the next time, or until the next time, be blessed, be safe, and Mr. King Sense is out.